Hey, hey, yeah, it's Game Pulse. Keith, Tyler. We're gonna talk about the future
Future
of gaming.
the gaming.
Cause what was Sony's announcement? I guess earlier this week, or
They were just what's his name? Shuhei Yoshida, the head of the worldwide studios at Sony, was saying how eventually Sony wants to move to where they put all PlayStation games on all devices ever. Like, you could play The Last of Us on your phone or something like that. They want to stream games to things like that. And even non-Sony devices you would be able to stream games to. And there's also, I just read 2 days ago, I think, on IGN, that Microsoft is developing the same exact thing, and that they had Halo 4 running on a Windows phone. Like, streaming like that. And so, I mean, and then we just got to talking and thinking, what's the future for console gaming? What's the future of handheld gaming? What's the future for just gaming in general? So, let's talk about some consoles. What's going to happen after the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, do you think?
I'd say
And Wii U.
probably for another generation, there would be still separate consoles. Probably into the next generation, there'd probably still be separate consoles. But the one after that, I feel like we'd finally either the consoles will some of them will start to die off, or they'll just get one. I think eventually.
Sorry.
And I also with the whole streaming thing, I still feel like they still would definitely make consoles. Like, I feel like that would be like the hub. Like, you kind of have to get something set. Like, I see them definitely doing that. You still have to buy the console, but you might never play a game on a console, because the console's just like the central hub, where, boom, now all you have to do is put your account in anywhere and you can play your game. Or whatever. You're talking about that. But, I mean, it's the same stuff you always hear about. Probably definitely either late this gen or definitely next gen, everything will probably go digital.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely.
And, I mean, always online will probably happen, because at that point, just about everybody will always be online. I think the rate that, people are getting access to the internet is actually more people getting access to the internet every year. So, I mean, I think that it's just going to keep getting bigger, but it probably will hit an apex. Or is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, like a plateau. Like, this is about as successful as video gaming is going to get.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure if there'll be another generation after this. I just, if they're developing this now and it works, then why should they make a whole another console generation? You know what I mean? Or maybe,
Money.
I mean, it could be money, but then, they would save so much money by not making consoles, you know what I mean? And they would save all that research and development cost and all that bullshit. But, I mean, games are definitely all going to be all digital. I can see it, definitely, if there is another generation, I can see it definitely happening, They'll be digital and just boom, right there, you can start downloading this. GameStop is going to die eventually as well. But at the same time, GameStop might not die, or, Just Press Play that's around us, because there will be those people that want to buy the older games that, they like having physical media. I'm the person that likes having physical media. I like having a case that I can jerk off to and just look at and hold in my hand. That I really enjoy that. It's satisfying, going in on my Xbox and looking at all the games I downloaded, that doesn't bring me the same erection that, holding a game does, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not fully sure if there'll be another console generation. I'm kind of like 50-50 on it. I mean, there could be, but there could not be, maybe what will happen is, maybe they'll make this console, but it'll be really small. It won't be the size of consoles you have now. And then they'll just stream games to it. And, I think both Sony and Microsoft see that, like Keith was saying, more people have internet. Internet's getting faster, the bandwidths are getting bigger and all of that stuff. But I'm not sure. And to be honest, it makes me sad. If there won't be another console generation after, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, it'll make me sad because I grew up as a console gamer. I can't see myself sitting there at a PC, staring at a PC screen. That's just not for me. I like plugging my console up into a nice, sexy, big TV and holding a controller in my hand. And just experiencing this great story and world and all that stuff.
I can see what you mean by maybe there won't be, but I can definitely see at least one more generation. On the sole basis that look at how much, technically we should be all digital right now. And look at how people were just against that. So that's the thing. So the next gen, there are going to be people who can be like, no, we don't want that. We still want, majority still probably going to want consoles. And then they'll make another console generation, or they'll talk to people. But they'll still have, you could, do it here, but people will be like, I still want consoles. And then probably more and more people get turned on to the idea, kind of like all these ideas that Microsoft specifically was kind of throwing out. People were kind of starting to like a lot of digital. People were kind of starting to like always online a little bit more now. So, I see it happening.
I don't hate getting digital games as much as I hate getting digital music. But I'm just one that prefers music. Or physical media. But, like Keith was saying, they can make a lot of money off of it. I was saying they could save a lot of money by not making console generation, just streaming stuff or something. But they might, because consoles make a lot of money for these companies, That's the only thing that, keeps Sony afloat is PlayStation, because it sells so much and it sells so well. And, I'm sure same thing with Microsoft,
Yeah.
I felt like there was something else I was going to say about this, but maybe it'll come to me. But then, I think the one thing that's definitely going to die out, and this could be the last generation of handheld gaming. Handheld gaming is going to go away. For sure.
I think in the traditional sense, yes.
Yeah.
Handheld gaming is going to go away.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see, and I think that probably, in my opinion, the two best candidates for this are Nintendo and Microsoft. Because, one, it seems like something Nintendo would do. Nintendo's usually just been on par with certain things. They're usually the first to do a lot of these huge big leaps, like motion capture and
two dual screens
and all that. I can see them definitely making a phone, which who knows? Because I think that's one of the problems with maybe a problem with 3DS. I mean, the 3DS sells amazing, but I mean, it's maybe some people are like, oh, there's not that many games I want for it, so why get a 3DS for just a game? They make a phone that plays games, or that's optimized for playing games. Yeah, there's only a couple games I want, but then I also have a fucking phone.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, Microsoft already has the Windows Phone. That's why I thought they would easily do it too, because just make one optimal for that.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, or I can see Sony or something making a tablet or something like that plays PlayStation games and has the power of the Vita or something. Because let's face it, the Vita is not that exciting, at least in my mind. There's just not anything about the Vita that really gives me a boner, and there's not any games on there that I'm like, I have to play this. They're all, console ports or something. But, I mean, I just feel it's going to go away, because tablet gaming and phone gaming, it's growing in popularity like crazy. And it's more portable, it's less expensive. And, if someone could make this huge, really grand experience and you can play it on your phone, then what's the point in getting a handheld or something, you know what I mean? But I just feel that if they want to continue handheld gaming, Sony and Nintendo, they have to do something like, take it and develop it into a phone, because it's just, or a phone or a tablet, or there has to be something else than it just displays great games or something.
It's either that, or I see they have to reinvigorate the handheld thing, which I think, even though I know you don't think very highly of the Vita, but I think something that the Vita is starting. The Vita is I think the first time that was genuinely a handheld console.
True.
So, if they made more shit like that, I think handheld gaming might be able to last a little bit longer, but not too much.
But I mean, you look at the Vita now, and yeah, it is kind of like a handheld console. It has a lot of power to it, but it's not selling well. So if I make this handheld machine that just has these mind-blowing graphics, are people really gonna buy it just because
I think
it has to have the games.
Yeah, you develop good games, but then also, you can make a phone that maybe, I don't know, you can make a phone that, or like you can do something where like you can get a phone, which is like, you can play touchscreen games on your phone, which then they can make a lot more like touchscreen games. But then what if they had like a shell that, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's like you kind of plug your phone into, in a way, so that your phone screen would be like the screen of the Vita, and then that's how you play. So it's like, but then I got a phone. I mean, that could be a way that they solve both issues. They still keep kind of this traditional kind of sense, but then you also it's more open to people. They have a phone.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, getting back to your whole thing of how they have to kind of reinvigorate, reinvent handheld gaming in a way is, Nintendo came out with the Nintendo DS back, 2004, 3, 5, something like that. And everybody was like, holy shit, look at this is so different. Sony or Nintendo or whoever decides could, do the same thing. They could come out with just some really crazy technology that has good games and people really want to play. I don't know what, because everything's kind of been done that I can think of, but I don't know.
Maybe another idea is and the Vita is doing better at it. Take that mobile, on-the-go experience better, with almost make it a necessity to play some PlayStation 4 games or something, where they put out a new handheld, but it's now you kind of need this. I don't know, just make it like that dual experience where you can play away, make that more tangible, because it's a great idea now, and I like the idea. It's just not I don't see it as necessity, but then just, again, it could just be that one game that they put out that's hooks everybody.
And I think the Vita is a cool system. It mostly just doesn't have games, but I don't know. I mean, it has some really cool things. And getting to back to the streaming thing, is the Vita in ways is kind of doing that. The whole remote play between your PS3 and your PS Vita, that's you stream it to your Vita. I guess what they want to do is just you can stream that to your phone or whatever, It's kind of already doing that. They just want to expand it, but if they expand it so much, then I think consoles will go away.
Yeah, but again, I think people will be very resistant to that.
Yeah, I think they would be. It depends how they do it. They would be really resistant to it if they do it the way that Microsoft was going to do always online and used games. Just overnight, this is going to happen. If they slowly do it, then people might not be as resistant to it. But I think we can both probably agree that the days of console gaming, while they won't go away tomorrow or in the next 10 years or something, but they are numbered.
Yeah, I can't agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, console gaming will
Because
die.
also, I mean, you look at the leap from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2. Huge graphical leap. The same thing from, 2 to 3, or, all that stuff. And then 3 to 4, is just, it's a pretty good leap, but it's not huge, And then the graphical leap for each console coming afterwards is just going to be smaller than the one before and minimalistic. But if they come out with... Yeah, I'll ask you this. What if they make one console? Do you think that Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo will get together and say, hey, let's make one console and we'll just make games for it?
It would either be after a boom where video games are really successful, or it would be like if they were in dire straits.
Yeah.
Like, not right now. I don't see that
Yeah,
happening in
I
the
see
near future.
corporate greed, doing that. Not allowing them to do that, but...
Yeah, like they would become too powerful altogether, and they could, set prices.
Right, it would be a monopoly. And I'm not sure how much the government would like that, because they don't like monopolies.
There are some differences, like controllers and things like that. How it would have to, which controller do they take? Which of this do they take? Which of that do they take?
Will the Steam box change gaming drastically?
I don't think so. I mean, it might, just because it's bringing a PC experience to a console, which is cool. But, I think that all that'll do is that'll just make... I mean, it might solidify... It'll just make it that now, like, the next model or so, or a software update of all these consoles will include stuff that kind of resemble the Steam box, is what I see happening. So.
Right. I see the Steam box being successful. I'm not sure if it'll be successful as a Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo console, but I don't see it dying a painful death very soon after it launches, like the Ouya or something.
What?
The Ouya. Nobody gives a fuck about the Ouya. It's a piece of balls. But the Steam box will be interesting. And I feel if someone comes out with an upgradable... I think that's one thing they have to do. An upgradable console.
Oh, yeah.
You can upgrade the graphics card in it and do this stuff. Then console gaming might go away. But then they can make their money by... Here, you can upgrade this console, but you can only buy the graphics cards that we make or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that could happen.
Very true. I think that's about it. Let us know. What do you think about the future of gaming, console gaming, handheld gaming, everything? Whatever the fuck you want to say. Say it. Make sure you subscribe for some really awesome content. And, see you around.
Yep.